Good morning once again, and welcome to the second special edition of the OBX Wave Report for today as we track the predicted formation of a powerful bomb cyclone in the North Atlantic that is expected to impact both the United Kingdom and Ireland on Friday and Saturday. And I know I talked about this a little bit yesterday, and we wanted to do a follow-up, particularly because some of the wave models are really, really looking interesting, especially for Ireland. And I say interesting in a very stormy fashion, um, very wild and rough kind of fashion. Now, this is the global forecast system wind model for the present hour from Earth Null School. And we see the makings of this storm coming together here as a low pressure begins to sweep out of Baffin Bay. This thing is expected to head out into the North Atlantic and then roar on into Ireland and the UK on Friday and Saturday. So I'm just going to go ahead and run the model so we can see this thing start to come together. We see energy coming in from Baffin Bay, forming a broad trough that sweeps up another low pressure system, even as we get a precursor low and a pretty powerful one running in through the upper UK here in Scotland with strong, looks like about 50 mile per hour winds, 56-mile-per-hour winds just offshore, and so gale force conditions. But that's not the main event. The main event is this powerful bomb cyclone that's really starting to form that's going to produce a just a very large gale for both the UK and Ireland, or at least a near gale force conditions in some locations, but gale force conditions in most locations. And so you can see this trough really digging into the North Atlantic this time with powerful winds in the range of 63 miles per hour just south of the system. This on Thursday. And then running into Friday, look at these wind speeds. You got near hurricane force. Well, no, you got solidly hurricane force winds in the southern quadrant of the storm and pressures in the low 940 millibar range. And that's about category 4 hurricane range if it were concentrated. Now this storm is over a much broader period, so you don't have, or a much broader region, so you don't have the very intense winds close to the center like you do in a hurricane, but what you do have is a very large gale and storm force system with gale force winds now running out of Baffin Bay and then pretty much all the way across the North Atlantic. And I'll go ahead and advance the model. So you can see these gale force winds begin to sweep into Ireland and the UK. The strongest winds still expected to be out here in the ocean. I don't believe you're expected to get hurricane force winds for the UK or Ireland, but as we get into Friday and Saturday, the gale force winds will begin to blanket Ireland and the UK in the near gale force conditions. Storm is expected to weaken a little bit as it approaches, but nonetheless, you're likely to see those gale force conditions running in on Friday and Saturday for the UK. Let's get down to the ocean surface and look at some real craziness here. And I just want to show you this massive blob of waves. And we've got out here in the shipping lanes a 42 and a half, 43-foot significant wave heights predicted for Saturday, the 7th. But look here in the near coastal waters of Ireland. And hold on, let's advance this one more. Oh, nope. Okay, so maybe the model updated. But in any case, I looked at the last model and this orange zone had just like interacted with the coastline of Ireland. But even so, just maybe about 20 or so miles offshore, you've got significant wave heights in the range of about 28 feet or so. Let's go ahead and bring this back. I want to make sure that, yep, that's right. Okay, so the model has updated. I'm going to have to change the title of this episode, but like the previous model showed, it was crazy. It showed like 35-foot significant wave heights just off Ireland, and That was nuts. Even so, this is showing significant wave heights in the range of 25 feet just off of Ireland, 20 to 25 feet just off of Ireland, which is still just gnarly. It's just pounding. I don't know exactly how that's going to line up with the coastline. If you've got some coastal features that are going to funnel these waves, they're going to pump them up or bring them down. But in any case, even if significant wave heights in the near coastal region are, say, like here, 22 feet, that means that you could see 40-foot waves in some locations. It's just nuts. So I wouldn't be too um, the the earlier prediction, I wouldn't think that, oh well, the waves now are just going to be 20 to 40 feet in the near coastal waters off of Ireland. That is still insane. I don't know if anyone's going to get down there and get some footage of this stuff. If it does line up as predicted, these are extraordinary waves still for the coast of Ireland predicted, and just an amazing and powerful and tough event here for Ireland in the near coastal regions, along with a gale that is expected to run in. Now, of course, this gale is expected to bring in a lot of. Oh, here we go. Here's the. Okay, so I'm cheating a little bit. This is a previous wave model run. So it does show you what some of the potential was for the wave model. And it's possible that this is going to happen because these wave models, they run in on, I think it's like 6-hour intervals. You know what? You know what I might have done? Let's do this. I think I was, yep, there we go. So all you have to do is just advance it more slowly, and then you start to get those significant wave heights in the near coastal region pumping up to 30 feet. And wow, that is insane. Just look at this, guys. Near coastal wave heights in the range of 30 feet for significant waves you could see in some locations, depending on the bottom conditions. If you've got a deep bottom, I don't know if there are any deep bottoms out there, but you could see 50, 60-foot waves in the near coastal region for Ireland. I don't. Of course, this is a rough model. I'm not an expert on coastal features, the coastal geography, and the underwater geography for Ireland. I'd be very interested to hear what the experts have to say. But just looking at this model, the waves are going to be pumping out there off of Ireland. They're according to this model. This is the Saturday wave model for Ireland, looking at 30-foot significant wave heights. Let's just go ahead and advance it. 32-foot significant wave heights. Yeah, there you go. Like 30, yeah, in the near coastal regions, 32 to 35 significant foot significant wave heights just off Ireland. That's insane. I noticed Nathan, I think it's Nathan, yeah, Nathan Flores, I believe, has done some amazing videos of surfing off of like a rocky pillar type break out there. I believe it was in Ireland. I I don't know, things things there might be just insane. So yeah, I know I'm really going on and on about these insane wave conditions, but there is a bomb cyclone forming out there in the North Atlantic. It is starting to gather steam right now. All the various elements are starting to come together. It's going to bomb out, according to the weather models, in the 940 millibar range, and it's going to run into the UK and Ireland and bring in some gale force conditions, along with, according to this wave model, some just really stunning waves into the coast of Ireland. I'm kind of aghast. I kind of almost can't believe this. This is really insane. So let's look at some other features here for this system. I just did also want to note that we do have a kind of river of moisture and atmospheric river component for this system. We've got this large pulse of moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico and moving up the US East Coast now with a frontal system. This pulse is riding up the Gulf Stream and is expected to enter the North Atlantic. The system is dipping down out of Baffin Bay and is expected to encounter this moisture wrap the moisture up into it, and then hurl that moisture on into England as the gale force system progresses. But look at this river of moisture running up from the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean, off the US East Coast, then across the North Atlantic, roughly following the Gulf Stream, and then slamming into the UK and Ireland on Friday and Saturday. And the UK Met Office has picked up the predictions for major storms to start to fire on Friday as the leading edge of this system starts to sweep in. And I'm just going to go ahead and run the model here to show you the UK Met Office forecast for powerful storms to sweep in across Ireland and then run in through the UK on Friday and Saturday. And then just on into the North Sea toward Scandinavia. And then in the center of this storm, you get just generally squally conditions sweeping in across first Ireland and then the rest of the UK later on Saturday. And there you go, just with those squally conditions just becoming pervasive. So thank you for joining me again for a special edition of the OBX Wave Report, where extreme wave conditions are predicted in conjunction with a bomb cyclone and gale force with long fetch type conditions for Ireland particularly. I would really be interested to see what the guys at Magic Seaweed and some of the other surfing video bloggers and wave and weather observation video bloggers come up with for direct observations there on the coast of Ireland. If anyone is heading out there and has some footage they want to share, I will feature it in the next OBX, well, the coming OBX wave reports, particularly for this weekend, because wow, yeah, this might be really, really something else. So thank you for joining me again, and I'll be back with you shortly for some more placid observations from the coast here directly in the Nags Head region later this afternoon. And we'll see maybe if we can get together another special for you guys. I got a couple of specials planned. We want to do the story of the Billy Mitchell Airport and Billy Mitchell generally. And then I also want to talk to you guys about reviewing a 2-3 mil wetsuit for the water conditions here in the Outer Banks in wintertime. So in any case, thank you for joining me.